Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie with Nine Health. Time to take a break, time to move, time to take care of your mental health. All this week we've been talking about your mental health, and during this time it's kind of something that we all need, relieve anxiety, relieve some stress. And during this time, I wanted to say we have a lot of partners that are helping support our education initiatives right now. Well Advised is one of them. They offer some tools to make Medicare and healthcare less confusing, and you can manage all your care needs and your healthcare spending for free. You can do that at welladvised.com. Want to apologize. I'm on my phone because Zoom has failed us today. So I'm on my phone. So through my phone and then through to Zoom, you will see Patrick. He's with Kindness Yoga. He's going to give us some yoga moves and some mindfulness tips. And I will learn to flip my camera better as well so we can make sure that all works. But we're going to demonstrate some moves you can do if you have a 5-minute break, 10-minute break in your home office. Getting moving is really going to help just your mental well-being, and I know it'll help mine. I'm having trouble right now finding a break in the day where I can do something. So let's turn it over to Patrick. I will introduce him once again. He is the founder and owner of Kindness Yoga, and we're going to do some yoga moves here in a minute again. But first, I wanted to ask him about mindfulness. We might be hearing a lot about mindfulness can help with anxiety, stress. First, Patrick, tell us, for those that don't know what that means, how does mindfulness work?
Thank you. Grateful to be here with you. Hi, everybody. Mindfulness is a active, present moment awareness practice. And so often when things are happening and the world is changing, a pandemic, for example, things that you don't expect occur in life, change of a plan, something doesn't go your way, and your mind can start to race forwards in time or backwards in time. And mindfulness is the practice of bringing yourself back to right now. And often it's associated with a breath practice as well. So taking a moment to consider what a nice deep breath might feel. Like right now, you could do that. And the moment that you take your inhale and expand the lungs as much as you can and exhale, it takes something. It takes something of awareness. It's like, okay, I'm going to inhale deeper right now. And I'm aware of the edges of my lungs. And then I exhale completely, and I'm aware of the complete emptiness of my lungs. And in that moment of turning on your awareness to something that's happening in your body, in the moment, in time, it brings your focus right here. And from right here is when you can do something. If we're anticipating things in the future that, someday maybes or worst case scenarios, that's tough to connect to, like, okay, well, what about right now? And likewise, if we're thinking about the past and regrets and could-haves or should-haves, that lives back there. And so when you take a deep breath and you add that with the idea of, I'm going to bring myself into the moment, aware of my inhale and my exhale, I just become more actively present. And that place is a real empowered place.
Yeah, I think that's a great description of it. Again, everyone, I'm Stephanie with Nine Health. We're talking about mental health, relieving anxiety and stress. I'm with Patrick from Kindness Yoga. And technology's failed us a little bit today, so I'm going live to my phone, looking at my computer, which has Zoom and Patrick on it in this virtual world we're all living, still connecting with each other, so I'm thankful that Patrick could join us today. We're talking about mindfulness a little bit first before we get into some yoga moves that you can do just in your home office when you need a break. What's one thing, Patrick, that we can all do to be more mindful right now?
Yeah, it is a deep inhale and a deep exhale. And one of the things that we'll be doing here in a moment is a breathing exercise called a box breath. And I'll explain it more in detail, but the breath is a really unique part of our system because it happens automatically and it also happens by conscious choice. And so unlike your heartbeat, which is really going all the time no matter what, whether you're thinking about it or not, and there are things you can do to elevate it and to slow it down, but mostly it's happening on its own, as are the majority of our systems. Your breath is something that you have an awareness to make a choice about, and you can go to sleep on it, and it will just happen on its own. And so the breath is this magical crossover place between a conscious activity that the body does that's absolutely necessary for its survival and one that goes unconscious and takes care of you anyway. And so to be mindful is to really empower yourself around the one thing that happens all day long that is feeding you oxygen and making it possible for you to think and breathe and walk and everything that you're doing, is to pause. And in those moments when you feel yourself overwhelmed or underwhelmed, right? How underwhelming is it that you're not going to go out and see friends again tonight? There's a lot of moments of underwhelm right now. Take a deep breath and maybe follow it up with 3 or 4 deep breaths. Close your eyes and feel in the moment that you have control over the amount of tension that you have, the judgment that you might be carrying about the situation or about yourself, and really allow yourself to come back into your center with as quick as one breath.
We did just get a comment on Facebook, one from Laura, who said, I just take it day by day, which I think is great advice right now. Just take things day by day. Jill just said, she's finding it hard to focus on things like breathing when the coronavirus has dominated our minds for so long at this point. So maybe just suggestions for focusing on breathing and kind of removing yourself from all of that news. Maybe you have some advice on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the things that helps me in times of acute challenge is acute challenge seems to compress time into like, this is real, it's very real right now. But if we were to pull that section back and look at it from afar as part of a greater timeline, we would see that looked like it looked like, and we would remember it however we remember it. But almost always on the other side of challenges, when we're being mindful particularly, there's something you can look back on and say, boy, the world looked like this before that period of time, and now it looks like this, and what lessons did I learn? What empowerment did I take? For me and my family right now, for example, the COVID challenge is really this opportunity for us as a world community to experience something. Everybody's experiencing something similar right now. So in one way, we've never been this united around a same topic before. And granted, it's kind of like this outside alien influence, a virus, but it's bringing us together in interesting ways. And so I invite you to practice mindfulness, to practice breath, to be in that open awareness practice and say, how else will I interpret this time later in my life? And is there a way that I can pay attention to my day-to-day right now, to my communication with my family and my friends? Is there a way that I can write the story that I'm going to remember later, today? Like, I want to look back on this time and say, that was the year when all this crazy stuff went down, and I got in the best shape of my life. I got more clear than any other time in my life. I practiced ritual in my home with my family. We were closer than ever. We had breakthroughs, we had challenges, and boy, when I look back on it, that actually made the biggest difference in who I am today. There's no reason that you have to wait till the future to look back and see that. You start writing your legacy in a mindful way right now. And of course, it's a practice. So you have all sorts of momentum going forward around anxiety, or the media cycle has all this momentum going forward around COVID. And so you have to practice and keep practicing changing the mindset towards, I wonder what great things are going to come out of this time, and go from there.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to think about it, because we are all kind of challenged right now in our homes and really close, maybe closer than we want to be to some of our family. But yeah, just embracing it as a good time to spend some quality time with not only your family, but also to yourself and just looking inward. Again, I am live on my phone. We were talking to Patrick at Kindness Yoga, who joined me via Zoom. We just couldn't get it to connect to Facebook, so I will flip the camera when it's time to talk to him as well. And he's giving us some great points so far. And Di commented that her stomach, their stomach's in a ball of nerves. They're in extreme stomach pain from all this, so it's causing some physical problems as well. And I wanted to bring Patrick on today to talk about mindfulness, mental health, also do some yoga moves with us. So Patrick, maybe we get in now to doing some moves, but you can talk about why yoga is beneficial to not only physical health, so maybe relieving some of those physical ailments, but also your mental health.
Yeah, for sure. Just a quick comment for you. Was it die?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough when the stomach is feeling super tight and turned over for all the thinking. And so I can totally relate to that. And one meditation technique that you might play with, even for 2 or 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, however long you can muster it, is you close your eyes and take an inhale and see if you can find the center of the tightness in your stomach. See if you can actually use your imagination and go in to where you feel like the center is with your mind, with your eyes closed. And as you inhale, you just try and expand that center open a little bit. Because right now that tightness and that contraction gets sent, there's a core to it that you can breathe into and make it a little bit bigger and relieve some of the tension. And then as you exhale, see if you can relax your abdominals completely. Relax your stomach all around your midsection, totally relaxed. And then on your inhale, you try and expand it a little bit bigger and then completely relax. Inhale, relax. Inhale, relax. And you do that 5 or 6 times. And maybe you set a little alarm on your phone that every hour it alerts you to do 5 conscious breaths where you expand any areas of tension. You might notice that it starts in your stomach, but then after 5 or 6 rounds of doing that throughout the day, you're like, oh, wow, now it's kind of moved to my lower back. Okay, you just started again from right there. And I found that if we practice relieving the tension that gets built up, the body responds. It doesn't want to be in a state of clench. That takes a lot of energy, and we're not designed to be clenching all the time. That's not a high performance or even sustainable state. So as you start to relax and release things, you may notice it moving around in your body, maybe your neck, maybe your shoulders or your neck. And you just keep practicing this meditation. And soon enough, with a few days even of practice, my guess is you're going to see a dramatic difference in the feeling.
Yeah, I think that's great. So yeah, I just want to get into some moves with you. We have the benefit of having Patrick, who's the founder and owner, Chief Vision Officer of Kindness Yoga. We have, the privilege of having him with us. Let's get some moves going that we can all just kind of do throughout our day to give us a little mental break. I know I'm stuck in my home office right now, and just finding 5 or 10 minutes would be great. So some easy moves that we can all do, Patrick. And I'm going to turn the camera around to you again, and I'll let you kind of guide us through some of the stuff that you've prepared today.
Perfect. Yeah, we're going to start with 2 different breathing exercises. One which I alluded to called box breathing. And it's quite simple. You can look up box breathing, just Google it or Bing it or whatever, and you'll have diagrams that will really make it simple. But the idea of the box is that you have 4 sides to a breath. So if you'd like to join me as I do it, we'll just do a couple of rounds. And it's something that you could do, say, for 9 rounds at a time or 5 rounds at a time, and play with setting a consistent number and then doing that multiple times throughout the day. Okay, so for the first box breath, you can close your eyes and just have your feet grounded on the floor, uncrossed, arms uncrossed, sitting a little bit more alert if that's comfortable for your spine. And then exhale your lungs. Inhale for your count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold your breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold empty. 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll do one more round. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold empty. 4, 3, 2, 1. So that's a powerful way, lots of science behind it, lots of, not even science, but the results have been documented of how that calms the nervous system. And so you do that 5 or 6 times in a row, your mind is focusing on the count and the feeling of Inhaling to full, holding, exhaling to empty, holding, and so forth. That's called box breathing. Then another one that's really kind of fun that not a lot of people have gotten a chance to try outside of the yoga community is called Nadi Shodhana, which is alternate nostril breathing. And so we can do this together. And if you have a Kleenex next to you and you've been a little sniffly, it might be good just to blow your nose to clear that out. But otherwise, you take your ring finger and your thumb, and you rest your two index and middle finger right on the bridge of your nose, and your thumb on one side of your nostril and your index finger on the other. And we'll start together. Exhale your lungs to empty. And then close your left nostril and inhale through the right, just as much as you can. Inhale till your lungs are full. Then close your right nostril and exhale all the way through your left. Keep exhaling, keep exhaling. Then inhale through your left till you're completely full. Close the left once you're full. Exhale to completely empty right. Inhale right. Exhale left, and so forth, back and forth. And what they've shown when you hook folks up to different things, what do they call it? Is that EKG? I think it's EKG when it's on the head. You know, the little things. You've seen it in movies, altered states. You've seen that. That it takes a look and it activates both sides of the brain. And so, you know, sometimes they'll say that one side of the brain is overworking the other, the left side or the right side. This is a breath that activates both sides of the brain and gives you a little bit more balanced perspective. That's been my anecdotal experience, but then there's also science backing it up. Okay, great. So a good way to start just a simple yoga practice at home is you can do it right from your chair. This is a nice way of taking a break if you just have a few minutes between meetings or what have you. You can start with one of those two breathings or do them in succession for even more benefit. And so just sitting in your chair, sitting nice and tall, feeling first of all your back away from the back of the chair if you use one of those. And I highly suggest that you don't, or that you scoot forward in whatever chair you're in so that you build the musculature to sit up without leaning back. This is really tough on the back and hips over time, especially, you know, if you're sitting a lot. So sitting up nice and tall, and I'm going to scoot my chair back so you can see more of my body. Okay, perfect. And so you take your left hand and you bring it onto your right knee. And your right hand behind, you can hold onto the chair, you can put your hand on your low back, and as you hold on with your left hand on your right knee, kind of pull yourself up and then begin to twist over your right shoulder. I like to put my hand on the back of the chair, compress your tummy, pull in, and then take 2 or 3 deep breaths. Good. On an inhalation, so you fill the lungs to come out of the twist, change sides, and I'll just do it a moment here so that I feel balanced and don't walk out of here limping or something. Twisting here, a couple of breaths, and you go just to your edge, turning as far as your chin will turn, and then back to center. Really nice with the twist there. And then a side bend from your seated position. Again, just feeling the natural length of your spine, feeling pulled from the top of your head. Then you inhale, arms high. And just if this is available to you, interlace your fingers and just stretch up tall. And that can be a good challenge right there if you're not used to doing it. Making sure that you're not crunching your chin. Chin is up, throat is open, growing tall through the hands on top of the head. And as you exhale over to the right. And you just feel yourself reaching down through your left butt into the chair. And you stretch, and now take a couple of breaths all through the left side of your body, expanding the rib cage. One more, real full. And then with an inhale, again, inhale to come out, and exhale to the other side. Stephanie, she's holding her phone right now, so she's not able to do it, but I can tell you from watching her, she's mimicking it just a little bit with her face and head. It's awesome. Inhale, rise to center.
I think I'm just moving my phone to follow you.
Your hands up top here. right? I know you're just kind of like, I want to do something. And then hands behind your head. And this is a really nice way of doing a backward bend. So you have hands behind your head, and that keeps the back of your neck nice and long. And then begin to press your head back and just start to look up. And before you know it, oh, yep, I'm in a backward bend. And for those of you that can go further, you can really curl back and keep bringing your eyes along the ceiling, gazing back, and opening up. If you've been typing all day or on your phone a lot or holding a kid, because all of a sudden, you got a kid at home, maybe they wouldn't be homeschooling as a baby, but you know what I mean. If you're hunched over, this is a way for you to really loosen up and open all across your chest and be able to take a deeper breath. For you, Di, that's having a hard time taking a deep breath sometimes, try a back bend. Open up and really get the lungs more spacious. Another couple things you can do, and I'll turn to the side so you can see the action. This is called cat-cow, and it's often done on hands and knees. But if you're just taking a quick break from work, hands on the knees, lift it up tall, and then with your hands, inhale and pull your chest through, head back. And exhale, push your hands into your thighs, chin to chest, and round your back. Inhale, open up. Exhale, push and round. Good, one more together. Inhale, open up. Exhale, push and round. Good. And then something that's really good for range of motion of your spine. There's a lot of philosophies in our yoga practice that says that you're as young as your spine is flexible. And so one of the things I like to do is imagine I'm scraping out the inside of a barrel and I'm moving my ribcage around in a big circle. And I'm just lubricating all the spaces between the vertebrae, and then I go back the other way a couple of times. And all the while, watching and being mindful of my breath, taking slow inhales and exhales. And you come out and you're just like, wow, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to take on that next call. I'm ready to ask for that raise, whatever it is. And your body feels better. It feels more open. You're able to take a deeper breath. It can make a big difference. And then lastly, that's just a quick kind of, I don't know, that was probably 7 or so different poses. I'm happy to include those in the comments so you can just have that little flow. And if you start with around a couple of different breathing exercises, you go through that rudimentary set of poses. And then before you go on to the next thing in your life, close your eyes and have your hands resting on your legs. And now just breathe smoothly, deeply, and set up a new normal for the cadence of your breath. Sitting there, expanding, you can do that tightness expansion exercise meditation that we talked about earlier. You inhale, full as you can, exhale, full as you can. You do 5 or 6 rounds, longer if you have time for it. And then as you go into the rest of your day, you can say, notice when I've let go of that new cadence of breath. Have I let the news cycle shorten my breath? Because what that's doing is shortening your life. Longer breath, longer life. Longer breath, better quality life, period. So this breath cadence and really setting it up in the morning, breaks throughout the afternoon, along with some movements like we went through. I mean, it might make a little difference, but most likely it's going to make a big difference.
Awesome. Those moves were great. And hopefully that's helpful to everyone. I think Sage might be a friend. He's commenting on this feed right now. Says, loves Patrick, favorite yoga teacher. He mentioned free classes at kindnesscollective.com. So if you are looking for more movement, that is an option. They have some free virtual classes. You can get the first few ones free, which is great right now when we're all looking for something to do virtually while we're at home. And someone, Patrick, Sage answered this question for us, but I wanted to give you a chance to answer it as well. Someone asked about applications. So maybe they talked about free, I think it was free mindfulness applications. Oh, meditation apps. So do you have any free meditation apps that you like?
You know, I have used Insight Timer in the past. I'm using one right now that's really interesting called Sync Tuition, and I can share this with Stephanie. And these are not free. Those are both. Inside Timer has a free section to it, and what's really cool is we take it up every morning. And for our girls who are 5 and 8, they've been starting their day with meditation. They've got great kids meditations on there, and they ask for it. They're just like, and that's the fun thing about kids and mindfulness, is that kids love the present. And you ever try and rush a kid? It is not fun at all, because it's so unnatural. It's like, why would I be rushing to get somewhere else that's not right now? It's like, why? I kind of ask myself the question, like, why wouldn't I design life so that I was never rushing? I know that that's kind of a fun dream, but it's like, kids, that's how they would have it. So Inside Timer is a really good one. Sync Tuition is a good one. And really, there's a ton on YouTube as well. On our Kindness Collective resource, our library is going to be coming on board here in the next day or two, and we'll have some meditations on there. But that's not a free service. That's $19.95 after your first 3 classes. Because like so many small businesses, Kindness Yoga wants to be here to welcome mingling back when that's back in fashion on the other side of this at our yoga studios. So that's how we're asking to be supported and to support our community.
And if you do need a free resource, Patrick mentioned to me, and we can post the link. I think Sage posted the link to the website, but we can post that. You can also sign up for their newsletter, which has some free stuff in it as well. The newsletter is free, so you can get free tips and things in there.
Newsletter's free. It's always got good information in it as well. You can sign up on kindnesscollective.com. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to let Patrick go. And I just have a couple things to tell you all. If you have some medical questions about the coronavirus, Dr. Powell Coley couldn't join us today. But if you have any medical questions, we are starting a new initiative. It's called 9 Health Neighbor. And we have hundreds of medical professionals who volunteer their time to help our community. Without the 9 health fairs happening this spring, we're going to be utilizing them to answer some of your medical questions. We're giving you a chance to call us. You'll have a real person call you back. It's simple. It's powerful. It's a personal connection in this time of crisis. We will post the number in the comments, but again, it's 9 Health Neighbors, and the number is 303-698-4455, extension 2005. Again, ask any questions you would like, talk to a real person, medical volunteers from 9 Health. They will answer those medical questions for you. And helping us do a lot of this content that we're doing, we have several partners. One of them, again, is Well Advised. They offer tools to make Medicare and healthcare less confusing. You can manage your healthcare needs, your healthcare spending for free. Get more information at welladvised.com. And again, Patrick with Kindness Yoga joined us today, and we will post a link to his stuff as well. Again, I joined you via my phone. Patrick was on Zoom. We had some technical difficulties today.
Stephanie, you did so good.
But hopefully those moves helped out a little bit, and we're going to sign off for now.